Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is BryanCPSteele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Hi everybody. Today's probably going to be a pretty quick day. I've got a couple meetings today that are relatively important that I need to get through, and it's kind of chocked up my schedule a little bit. So I really want to get to the review. So let's go ahead and take the week in Bryan, but it's probably gonna be kind of a blur. Painting. I cleaned off my chair to the paint station, the hobby section. And that's as far as I got. I was going to do some more painting, finish up the Battletech mechs that are over there. I know they've been there forever. And then maybe paint a couple more demo models for Warzone. But it didn't happen. Things have been a little more hectic here on the other half of the studio. So I just haven't, which is, it is what it is. Personal, I have rounded the next slight little thing. I'm now sitting at 30 pounds lost since Origins, and it's steady. It is. I won't say that I've hit a plateau or anything weird like that. I feel like I'm still doing pretty well. Especially considering that I know that I've had a couple of, kind of cheat days that turned into cheat weekends, and haven't been too terribly. I've still been careful about what I'm eating, but haven't been, completely strict about it. So things are looking good on that. Also, I know ever since I've added the actual weights into the routine, people keep telling me that, muscle weighs more than fat, blah, blah, blah. And that, so I might see before I see the rest of the weight start to come off, I might see a bit of a plateau while the muscle kind of, it averages out or something. I don't know how that goes. The trainer person told me that this is to be expected. Let's see what else. Everything else, getting ready here in a couple weeks. Got Thanksgiving coming up, which means, of course, here on the channel we'll have Nerds Giving again, where we talk about what we hope for what we're thankful for and such. That'll be in a couple of weeks. Let's see what else. That's really it, personal wise. Not a lot going on, and not to be like, my life is boring. My life is normal. It's nothing, it's far from normal, but normal for me. Nothing super out of sorts. Gaming wise, still playing a lot of video games. This weekend I actually get to play on a Power Rangers. A Power Rangers stream. I get to be a guest on that. What's funny is I'm actually playing a character that I created for a convention adventure. So that's going to be kind of fun, getting to sort of settle in. I will need to make sure that I don't do the game designer thing and and actually anybody. Got to remember that, give the game master his platform, and if he wants to do things with the story or change things up for us, that to go with the flow. But that should be a lot of fun. That's gonna be coming up this Saturday. This Sunday, I'm actually gonna dust off my Conquest models. A couple of buddies of mine are getting together at one of the game stores, and we're gonna go push some minis around. I have not played my Conquest Dwagum in a long time. I mean, there's been a new version of the rules that have come out since I've played last. So this Sunday is going to be a lot of me relearning how to play, and deciding whether or not I want to stay with the Dwagum. Gamers are fickle, and there are a lot of and I'm a gamer, and there are a lot of really cool models coming out for the Wadroon, the dinosaur riding orcs. And if you know me, you know I'm a big dinosaur fan. When I started the Dwagum, the Wadroon weren't really a thing yet, or they were just barely becoming a thing, so we didn't know just how deeply dino they were going to be, or I probably would have started with them to begin with. So depending on how this weekend goes, if I fall in love again with my my little dwarfy friends, then I will probably stick with them and start maybe actually getting some paint on them. If you know, I play them and I go, you know what, I would rather have a different style of army. Then maybe you might very well see my 2,500, 2,800 points worth of Dwagum going up on eBay to pay for me to buy Wadron. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'm fickle enough to start over, because it's also a lot of models to put together. It is what it is. We'll cover that. Should that happen, we'll cover that when it happens. I'll let you guys know. I think that's really it. Our first official game of the old school Rifts game is going to take place tomorrow night. So that'll be fun too. So yeah, I guess this weekend I've got a lot of gaming. I got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday gaming this weekend. Woo! I got a lot packed into 3 days. I'll tell you how that goes next week. Professionally, things have been great. I have lined up some nonfiction gaming work. Basically, I mentioned this before, that there's a company putting together a really cool book that is going to be kind of to help people be better game masters and adventure writers and things like that. And they had tapped me to do an essay for that, so I get to do an essay for that. I'm going to get to do some in-character fiction for a project early next year. And I had an amazing meeting with our legal team yesterday to discuss a project that I brought it to the table and was like, I think this is going to be really cool, and I think that it's got a really cool audience, and I would love to see us do this. So I am excited that the meeting with the lawyers went really well yesterday, and that I am so close to getting to go ahead and get the green light on something and start putting actual schematics to paging and finding out how this is going to go together. So super excited there. Yeah, no, things have just been really good. Really good. Professionally and otherwise. I did find out that there is a not infinitesimal chance that I might end up having one more convention this year. I'm not going to say anything about it just yet because A, it might not happen, and I don't want to get any of you guys excited to see me there. Or B, I don't want to necessarily start having my schedule fill up and then it not gel. So more on that in the future if it happens. Other than that, it's just been a good week. Been a good week for the Bryan. Including an awesome thing came in the mail. Segue to what I wanted to show today. So now I do need to say expressly that this is not a paid promotion. This is also, they did not send this to me. The folks over at the Mammoth Factory did not send this to me. I was a Kickstarter backer. This is actually something that I received because I purchased it. So it is one of those things where I really wanted to, I thought it was a really cool idea. And looking through a lot of the stuff, now mind you, of course, I backed it before my printer died, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But it is a cool project that I kind of fell in love with, and I wanted to go ahead and give it a review and page through it with you and tell you how cool it is and show you kind of a neat thing that this company did. It is unique in how they put this together, and I think that if they do more of this, we will see. I think we'll see more of this, if not from them, from other companies who emulate. So this is called the Mammoth Chronicles, Volume 1 through 8. And I'm going to go ahead and read the back cover. Adventure awaits. The Mammoth Chronicles are plug-and-play library of 5e adventures designed to bring your tabletop games to life. These legendary tales will immerse your players in a variety of unique themes, locations, mysteries, and challenges. They'll battle the draconic lords of a vast empire, hold out against hordes of lycanthropic terrors, foil the machinations of infernal blacksmiths, and escape the clutches of eldritch planeshifters. Whether you play them in order or use them as standalone side quests, the stories between these pages are sure to keep your players on their toes. Now, what's very, very cool is because the reason I jumped in on this Kickstarter to begin with is because one of my 3D printing Facebook groups was like, hey, have you checked out this cool STL series? And so what they did is that they basically created a bunch of STLs for all the monsters and things, the monsters and characters and stuff that are in these adventures. And then they wrote adventures based around them, like little adventure seeds and stuff. But to go one step further, the Kickstarter did well enough that it also says in this book, is included in this book is 8 adventures, paper minis PDFs, digital battle maps, VTT tokens. So basically, this book contains a bunch of links and codes and things to download digital assets for you to be able to print or put it on your virtual tabletop or whatever, the stuff that you need for this game. It's not even including the STLs and stuff for the printed models. This is just this is something they've included in this book. Now, I don't know whether or not we'll see more of that from other companies. That is kind of an expensive set of things to have readily available as just part of the package. But I do like that. I do think that that's a cool thing to do. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at, and I'll show you things as we go. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I don't want to. I don't want to ruin them. We're going to do a quick overview and just kind of spin through stuff. I also want to give credit where credit is due. So the Mammoth, what was it? Mammoth Adventures? Mammoth Factory. Mammoth Factory. So their credits that they've got in here says the director and editor is Nadav Brand. The head 3D sculptor is David Pereira. Head writer is Daniel Smith. The story that they've concocted is Nadav Brand and Daniel Smith. Graphic design is Callum Dare. And then the maps were a collaboration with Elysium Cartography, Go Adventure Maps, and Mediating Monkey Maps. And then they had a content consultant, Rob Leonard, and then a handful of playtesters. And then they give a thank you to all the patrons, tribe members, and Kickstarters. So the 8 adventures, we have the Curse of the Skinwalkers. Surrounded and trapped, your only hope is to outlast the howling horrors of the night. We have the Infernal Forges. Destroy an infernal fortress in the depths of the Underdark. Now, mind you, for trademark purposes, they have the under-dark, nothing is capitalized, so it's not the Forgotten Realms Underdark. We have Void Stalkers, a plane-hopping race against time with eldritch horrors close behind. Dragons of the Immortal Flame. Infiltrate deep beyond enemy lines and defy the power of the Dragon Empire. Ooh, Dragon Empire, that sounds cool. The Sprawl. Nature and civilization stand upon the brink of war. Everdune. Hidden amidst the treacherous sea of sand is the secret to life itself. Temple of Time. To challenge the trials of time is to face certain death over and over. And then the last one is Bloodlords of the Deep. Uncover the blood-curdling eldritch mysteries of the Misted Isles. Cool. All right. So then this is actually, it's separated into its different adventures. And what's kind of cool, I didn't notice this the first time, is the table of contents. So it's got the adventures in it, but the next to each adventure, it actually has a suggested level. So Curse of Skinwalkers is level 4, Infernal Forges is level 5, Voidstalkers is level 6, Dragons is 7, Sprawl is 8, Everdune is 9, Temple of Time is 10, and Bloodlords is 11. So it's designed for 4th characters through 11th level characters. That's pretty cool. That it's just labeled as, hey, you know, if you've got a 6th level character, bam, this is the good spot for him. And then it's got the QR code, which I probably shouldn't actually show that in case someone tries to steal it. But it's got for the downloads, the VTT tokens, the digital maps to be able to print the paper minis. That's pretty cool. All right, so our first one is the Curse of the Skinwalkers. So that is the cover art of the Curse of the Skin. Whoop, I can't do backwards. The Curse of the Skinwalkers. It's got this like 4-armed werewolf monster thing. Each section has its own credits. I'm assuming most of them are going to be the same. But it's got a list of monsters. Just real quick, the monsters in this is the Skinwalker Abomination, Skinwalker Alpha, Skinwalkers, Yesult, the Maiden of the Grove, Talissa Karov, Peter Arnef, Gravewood Tree, and Thorngrove Tree. So that's the thing. We've got DM. Oh wow, that's cool! I didn't see this. So I've only paged through this a little bit, and I gave it just like a cursory glance before I got into this, so you guys can get my my honest opinion. So there is a page at the beginning of this that is the DM shortcut, and it basically talks about how, like, what roughly they see as the encounters and the combats and the things that will take place over 5 hours worth of gameplay. That's really cool. I like that. So then it goes into the adventure, which it's got art and sketches and things. It's got some maps. It talks about the different. I mean, like it's a true adventure. It goes through. It's got all the various tables. It goes into. It's got some read out louds. Oh, it's got a cool handout, so you can either like copyright it, paper copy it, or maybe it's on the PDF assets. I don't know. It's got some magic items. It's got NPCs. It's got several NPCs with stat blocks, but also like the what you read out loud when you meet them, their general appearance, their personal goals. Very cool. Very, very cool. It's nice to have that. And then for those who have them, instead of having full color art for everybody all the time, those who have models available in the STLs, they actually put up the renders of those STLs in here. So here we have the Abomination of Kasaluth, the thing from the cover, and the Skinwalker Alpha. Those are the STLs for what you will be printing if you get these and 3D print them. That's very cool. Very, very neat. All right, let's go into Infernal Forges. Infernal Forges, the cover is a big demon thing with a kind of a Mace Club chain Morningstar thing. It's got the DM shortcut again. Although, oddly enough, this DM shortcut is put together a little differently. Interesting. It's a completely different layout. I don't know if I like that. It shows that there were different people involved in making it, different writers and things, and I'm definitely okay with that. But it is a little weird to have it all in one book and have the format be different. And apparently I just found the ribbon of bookmarking. Interesting. We go into there's the adventure, a lot of art in this adventure. Looks like it's some kind of like underground fiery, some kind of underground fiery city. We've got some maps. We've got another good handout. Then we get into the NPC. So the rest of the layout is like the general layout is the same. It's just that one page was styled differently. Oh, that's a cool STL. We have Euron Bellringer. That's the dude from the cover. So we have him as an STL. That's cool. The Euron is not... It's not a person. That's not his first name. I thought he was a character. They are the Euron. They are a monster specially built for this adventure. And the bell ringer is the one that's got that big mace. Because on the next page, we have a warlord and a deadbolt, which looks like a guy with like an arbalest. It's actually a cool model. And then we have a flame speaker, and then the Hellforge Colossus. That's cool. And then we get into some little guys. The Crub Lords? Crub? What's a Crub? Okay. Crub Lords. We have Crub... Oh, no. Crub Lord Scarlac is a character. But the Crub, they look like... Oh, they are small, gangly-limbed creatures with dull gray skin, frantic eyes, and sharp features, somewhere between those of a gnome and a goblin. Its flesh is dotted with odd, protruding crusts of stone. So it's like an elemental goblin. I like that. And then we've got Smidvarg and Crub Boom Hurler. Oh, he's got dynamite. He throws fireworks and dynamite. Okay. So yeah, cool. And then so we have the Phase Panther, who I'm sure is in no way designed to look like a certain beast from a trademarked situation. In Void Stalkers here, we've got Escape the Clutches of Eldritch Evil. Got this big, scary monster. We'll find out about him. So this DM shortcut is set up more like the second one. So I'm wondering if maybe that first one is the weirdo, is the odd man out. So this one, we go into a ravaged countryside, on the mountains. Oh, and then we're in a city. So yeah, there's a lot in this one. That's a cool piece of art, though. There's the Storm Mage, part 3 of this adventure. It's got this just kind of like hovering dude that's all lightninged out. That's pretty cool. I like that. Then it goes a little further on, and then this adventure's a little longer. Ends in a cool map that I don't show you in case for spoilers, but it's a cool map. And then there's another handout map of the local area, which is cool. And got a couple of NPCs, a couple of magic items, and then the monster lore. Okay, that's just a tongue-in-cheek. There's a cube. Okay, it's called the monster is called the Rubiks. Some cubes are fated to spend their entire lives squeezing through dark, dusty dungeon tunnels and long-forgotten tombs. Those cubes are squares, and Rubik's ain't no square. Rubik's was always destined for something more. Its underground territory caught the eye of the rogue wizard Vanasir, who was in the days of the lookout for a well-concealed lair. After being nearly devoured by the ooze, Vanasir took a shine to the mindless creature and kept it as a pet. So Rubik's, a gelatinous cube, is a named gelatinous cube. Okay, that's funny. And then we have the Yisaloths, which are apparently the demons from this place. That's the thing from the cover. And then there's like a dog, humanoid dog style. Then there's another upright one. Rubik's apparently has its own STL that is dissolving somebody. That's cool. Then we got the wizard, and then we got some kind of cool like celestial dragon, and then a very cool looking cyclops. That's neat, kind of like a demonic cyclops. I dig that. Then we have the dragons of the immortal flame. Same style DM shortcut. Yeah, so it's just that first one. It's just that first one that's weird. It goes. Oh, this is a coastal adventure that takes you eventually inland in a caravan. What do we have? Normal adventure stuff. It actually looks like it kind of goes maybe like Wild West-ish a little bit, or out like a kind of a Western feel. And then we get into a big mountain fortress. Very cool map. Another cool the area handout. A couple of cool magic items, including a dragon horn or the spear of Ortheon. I like that. A bunch of magic items in this one. So this one's a very heavy magic item adventure. A couple of NPCs. A lot of NPCs. And then we have some monsters. Looks like we get the auxiliars. They are they dragon people? I don't know. Yeah, it just says they're the auxiliars. Then we have the Drakari, are a subspecies of Dragonborn. Okay. And then we've got the Drakari STLs. So if you want a cool Dragonborn knight, that'll work. We have a big dragon model. More Drakari. More Drakari. Like kind of like less adventurous or less adventurer style, more just kind of cool. And then here's the auxiliars, which are not Dragonborn. They're just the auxiliars are not a species. It's a position in this empire. Okay, cool. Then we have some Ascendant Drakari, which are kind of big, cool, like winged dudes. And then there's a character. Oh man, he's cool. There's a character Dragonborn, Drakari Dragonborn that would probably make for an amazing model of a like a paladin or something. It says he's large, but you could probably print him smaller. I love that. The Sprawl. It's got some mushroom folk on the cover of that section. DM shortcut into the adventure. Definitely a jungle / forest / swamp adventure. Oh, creepy. We have a fungus zombie, like a Last of Us fantasy version of like the Last of Us cordyceps. Creepy. Maps that are mostly trees and river. Makes sense. Let's see. What do we have? More. Interesting. So I don't know the specifics, but there's a really cool table of how this adventure works. Like the number of times that you fail, the number of times that you succeed. Cool. I like that. So it's almost like a mini game within the adventure. We have a cool handout for the area map, but then we also get the adventure paths. So it basically, kind of like the DM's guide, it talks about how each section, more or less, it's got a combat, it doesn't have a combat, it might take an hour, it might take 2 hours, and it tells you which direction you go, kind of how you would plan the different encounters. That's really neat. That's really neat. I think more of that, please. That's cool. A bunch of magic items. Couple of NPCs. Then we get into some monsters. So it looks, some of these monsters might very well be specific characters. I think they might be. Like Todd the Toad, for instance. But, ooh, these are cool. Oh, man, I wish I would have... I need my printer to be up and running, because these are really cool. The Bloom Stalkers. They're like fungus... They're like high-end fungus warriors. And then we have the Mycelians, which are like regal mushroom knights. Man, I want to play a Mycelian. That's cool. Then we have a bigger version. It's a gargantuan mushroom kind of probably the avatar of the area, I'm assuming. And then we've got these cool little thornlings and thornling swarms. They're roses with teeth that are on a vine. So a little swarm of those. That's pretty cool. We have Todd the Toad. Okay, Todd the Toad is an inside joke. If you recognize it, imagine it making this sound. Yeah, Todd the Toad even has a hypnotic gaze. It's Hypnotoad from Futurama. Okay, and then we got a kind of a neat spirit antlered critter. That's very, very cool. Couple NPCs, couple more NPCs. One's a cool tiefling. Then we get the Everdune, which this will look awfully familiar for anybody who, you know, likes good things. DM shortcut. It's obviously a desert adventure. Yeah, lots of sand, lots of deserty stuff, crystals and rocks and caverns. Another cool handout. Not very many magic items, but I'm assuming a desert adventure is probably going to be mostly. It is probably going to be a lot of survival-y stuff. So it's not very Santa Claus heavy. Then we have rules for the Ekrithari, which are desert elves. The Ekrithari worm speaker. So yeah, the Ekrithari are basically like super angry desert elf Fremen. We have a sandworm. We have a sand drake. Oh, that's pretty cool looking. The sand drake is got a big mace tail. I like that. Then we get into the Temple of Time. Temple of Time has got a weird, surely not a beholder, kind of a beholder thing. DM shortcut. This is a floating mountain. This is definitely a high magic adventure. We have floating mountain, trials of time. So it's going to be a lot of puzzle solving and sorts of things, leading to eventually a very scary looking monster. We have a couple of magic items, a couple of NPCs. Interesting. They have a Fiend Blood Manticore, which is an upright standing manticore, like a demonic manticore, but he's up. He's on his back legs, and he's got more of a barrel chest. Interesting. We've got Cloud Mantle, it's just a dark mantle. They just use a different name. The Bathir, which is a Bahir. Okay, so they're not really even getting far away from it. They do have ropers. We have rust monsters, and then we have the Rust Buster. Basically a large, scarier version of the rust monster that is capable of eating magical metal. So we got the STL for the little rust monster, and then you've got the Rust Buster. That's cool. I've always loved rust monsters. I think they're really cool. So the idea of one being kind of like a dire rust monster is rad. The Overseer, which is the beholder person. Then we have a gargoyle, a more powerful version of the Nothic called the Ancient Nothic, which is a cool, very cool STL. And then we get into the last one, the Bloodlords of the Deep. This is obviously an ocean adventure. Well, ocean, or at least on a boat of some way. It looks like, because there's a few maps that are of the boat itself. We got a port city. We've got coastal mists. There's a couple of not so much like beachfront property, but there's a couple of taverns and things that are close by. There's a broken ship, which is a cool backdrop. There's a little island in front of a waterfall. Very neat. Then we get into a section that I'm assuming is the primary bad guys, because it's like mermaid vampires. Mer vampires. We've got we have a letter handout. We have a couple of maps, some magic items, some NPCs, and then monsters. We have the Captain of the Fairy Queen. Fairy Queen apparently is the boat that you'll be riding on. Actually got a decent amount of NPCs. I'm assuming it's probably the crew of the ship. And then monsters. We have the Stormbringer Leviathan, which we'll have to take a look at that in a minute. We have Elder One, which looks kind of like an Aboleth, maybe a little different, but it's very Aboleth-esque. And then the Thasidians, which are basically they're vampires of the vampires of the I can't say it. Vampires of the Thasidian breed are an unstable mutation born from the blood of an elder aberration. Okay, so basically they're like fish vampire mutants. And they are exactly what I said they are. They're fish vampire mutant monsters. Cool. They got big, long, scary tentacle tails. And then we've got a couple of character models. We've got, there's the Stormbringer Leviathan. Big, scary, kind of merfolk, dragony thing. And then a character his name is Plugork. He's a frog, like a frog sailor. We got some more Thasidians. We've got Thasidians that are more like regular vampire mutant ladies, and then we've got the Thasidian Ancient, which has got a really big, scary, long tail and very pronounced fish parts. And then that is it. That's the last part of the cover. Or that's the last part of the book. So it says these are Mammoth Chronicles Volume 1 through 8, which would mean to me that if this went well enough, if they sell enough stuff, that they will do 9 through 18 or whatever. And maybe the next book will go through to higher levels and we'll get more epic, scary stuff. So I really, really do. I'm glad I spent the money on this. I'm glad that I backed this as a Kickstarter. And when I have my printer up and running again, or when I get my new printer, I will. I'll get some of these things printed out and painted up and show you how cool this stuff is. But I'm very excited. This is a very cool thing for me to eventually sink my teeth into. And I love the idea of, if you've got like a good, 6-hour session or a couple of 3-hour sessions, but you don't necessarily have the plan to jump in and get something done with your major narrative. You want to take a week off, or maybe one of your mainstay players that like the next part of your main adventure, they have to be there. Maybe they had to bow out for a couple of sessions. It gives something like this gives you a lot of options to run just a couple of sessions that's off of your primary path. That's off your main story arc. So it doesn't mess with your main plot. It doesn't really screw things up, but it still gives like a nice self-contained adventure or two for your players, so they can experience some other cool stuff and not always be chasing the next big plot point. So this is very, very cool. I don't really do a star rating or anything like that, but I would definitely rate it pretty high. It's very, very good quality. It's got lots of really cool stuff in there. They're very the handouts, the paper minis, the fact that they've got all that stuff just as part of this book as a download is very, very cool for a lot of people out there. So I highly, highly suggest it. I will put a I will put the link to their website in the description of this video. And when the video comes out, I will make sure to tag them in the review. I think it's very, very cool what they've done. And so from this professional nerd to all of the professional nerds over at Mammoth Factory, you guys did good. And I am very glad that I backed this. And should you put some more of this stuff together, hit me up. I would love to talk about it. I would love to show people more from the Mammoth Chronicles. So without further ado, I will let you guys go, finish the rest of your day or evening or somewhere in between. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Get your shots. Don't lick doorknobs. Just basically be safe. Try and leave every door. Try and leave every door unturned. I was talking about doorknobs and it made me think. Try to leave every room that you enter a little happier when you leave it. And, until next week, play some games. See you next week.